English for Investors, Leverage Targets Explained Clearly. Welcome! In this micro lesson, we'll show how to communicate your company's target leverage clearly and credibly. You'll learn to explain the ratio in simple terms, connect it to strategy and risk, and signal discipline with a realistic timeline. Investors and lenders don't just want a number. They want to see how that number supports growth without stretching the balance sheet. By the end, you'll be able to state a target, back it up with logic, and set expectations that you can actually meet. Let's make your leverage story confident, transparent, and investor-friendly. Start with definitions. Net leverage equals net debt/EBITDA. Net debt is total debt minus cash. EBITDA is operating profit before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Use a target range, for example, 2.0 to 2.5x, instead of a single point to reflect natural business swings. Distinguish covenants from management targets. Covenants are legal limits set by lenders, hard lines you must not cross, while management targets are your internal goals for running the business responsibly. Clarifying these upfront avoids confusion and shows you understand both flexibility and constraints. Explain why leverage matters. Thoughtful leverage can fund growth, new products, capacity, or acquisitions, while keeping risk controlled. Show you're cycle aware. Interest rates affect borrowing costs, and cash flow can rise or dip with demand. Acknowledge the environment you're operating in. Then, anchor your stance with peers and rating agency views. If competitors run at 2 to 3x, and agencies view that range as consistent with an investment-grade profile, say so. Context tells investors your target is not arbitrary. It's aligned with market realities and your growth plan. Be direct. Our target net leverage is 2.0 to 2.5x within 4 to 6 quarters. Give a range and time frame to set guardrails and pace. Tie the target to cash priorities. First, invest in high ROI projects, then consider M&A that fits strategy, and only then buybacks or dividends if headroom remains. Use plain numbers and comparables. Reference your current leverage, the planned step down each quarter, and where peers sit today. This shows you're balancing growth with balance sheet strength, not chasing a ratio for its own sake. Show the math behind the journey. Outline EBITDA growth drivers, pricing discipline, mix shift to higher margin products, cost efficiencies, and new contracts. Then, detailed debt actions, scheduled amortization, selective refinancing to lower interest expense, and applying asset sale or divestiture proceeds when sensible. Clarify capital allocation order. Fund operations and core growth. Maintain maintenance CapEx, then evaluate M&A, de-lever, and finally consider buybacks or dividends. Sequencing proves discipline and helps investors see how each lever moves the ratio toward the target. Build credibility by pressure testing. Share a stress test. If EBITDA falls 10 to 15%, net leverage peaks at XX, but stays within plan. Explain covenant headroom and liquidity, available revolver capacity, cash on hand, and near-term maturities. List contingency levers if metrics slip. Pause buybacks. Defer non-critical CapEx. Reduce operating costs. Moderate M&A, or raise equity-like capital if needed. Framing downside actions shows you're proactive, not reactive, and that protecting the balance sheet outranks short-term optics. Keep it simple and exact. Avoid jargon and always define ratios the first time. Use active, precise verbs like target, allocate, de-lever, refinance, and sequence. Own uncertainty with if/then phrasing. If rates rise 100 bits per second, then we extend the timeline by 1 quarter. Or, If EBITDA outperforms, then we accelerate delevering. This style signals control and transparency. Short, concrete sentences beat buzzwords. Investors should walk away knowing what you'll do, when you'll do it, and how you'll adapt when conditions change. Try these ready-to-use lines. 1. We target 2.0 to 2.5x within 4 to 6 quarters, supported by margin expansion and disciplined spend. 2. Priority. Fund organic growth, then delever. M&A, only if it keeps leverage within our range. 3. At 1.5x, we resume buybacks, subject to demand, pricing, and liquidity. 4. If EBITDA underperforms, then we pause repurchases and accelerate cost actions. 5. We maintain at least 2 turns of covenant headroom and 12 months of liquidity under stress. Adapt the numbers, but keep the structure: clear target, order of cash uses, and explicit triggers.